Good morning, learners. You are welcome to LODLC University of Technology Open and Distance Learning Center. And I'm welcoming you to GST 107, Introduction to Distance Learning, Study Section 7. The topic that we'll be considering today is assessment and evaluation modes of open and distance learning. I am Ituto Tiamiyu Opeyemi Glory. Learning outcomes. At the end of this study section 7, learners should be able to explain assessment and evaluation in the context of open and distance learning to gain the skills in utilizing self-assessment to improve understanding of concepts of study. And learners should be able to explain the structure of semester examination. Overview of assessment in distance learning in ODL, online distance learning. Assessments play a very critical or crucial role in the teaching and learning processes, as well as in certification and the acquisition of knowledge and skills, whether in traditional, that is in face-to-face, or in online distance learning system. It is a subsystem within the overall online distance learning framework involving the extensive mechanism for managing student assessments. So what is assessment? Assessment can also be defined as a process for obtaining information used to make decisions about the students, the curriculum, the programs, schools, and educational policies. So in online distance learning system, assessment is primarily conducted to provide feedback to learners. Also, to provide feedback to the tutors to know how the learners, how they comprehend or understand what the e-tutor is teaching the learners. So it's the means of feedback to learners as well, to get feedback of their performance, of the way they approach the work, how far they understand the content or the subjects. Achieve summative evaluation based on formative assessment. So this will also help the learners to achieve the summative evaluation based on the formative assessment, that is the online test, the online quizzes, the online assignment, the forum discussion. So it will help in achieving the summative evaluation of all these formative assessment that I've mentioned. So for monitoring the effectiveness of academic programs and implementing strategies to achieve the institutional goals. Now, the goals of coming to school is to learn, to acquire knowledge, also to get certificate. So it is very crucial to monitor the academic programs and to monitor how you are moving in the course of the study. Overview of evaluation. The overall assessment of students learning is incomplete without evaluation. Now, without evaluation, you will not be able to know your standard, you will not be able to know your class. You know you are men in learning, but it is assessment that will help you to evaluate your performance, your capability, your ability, the way you understand the subject matter. As all assessment activities communicate must culminate in evaluation. So evaluation involves making a value judgment about the worth of a particular student work or their performance. So you have to evaluate to make a value judgment about your worth as a student in terms of your work or your performance towards the subject matter or your course of study in the university. Assessments also provide the data needed to judge the quality or value of student performance. So this will help to also judge the value or the quality of your performance as a student or learners. The importance of evaluation and assessment among ODL learners include in structural management, the selection. Now when they evaluate, it will help in selection to know the particular area or particular course they are fit in. placement and classification. Also, it will help to place you in appropriate class, and also in term of classification, to know where you belong to. It is through this evaluation that will help to know that. Also, we have guidance and counseling. Now, when they evaluate you or during the assessment process, it will help the guidance and counseling unit to know where they will come in to your matter, because they are the one that you can complain. The guidance and counseling, they are there in the ODL to counsel. You will explain what is bothering you, any complaint that you have, you will tell them, and they will guide you and counsel you on how to go about such issues. Now, credentialing and certification is also part of the assessment, in part of the evaluation in online distance learning. Now, type of assessment, we have formative assessment. This is used to diagnose learners' problem and difficulties during the instructional processes, providing remediation to address this issue. It involves evaluating students or learners' achievements while they are still learning, with results used to improve teaching and guide content learning. This type of assessment is continuous and provide feedback for appropriate intervention. That is for formative assessment. Now, for summative assessment is cumulatives and confirm what students know and can do in relation to program outcomes. It is a very crucial part of your studies. It focuses on various ways to test your abilities and achievements. The summative assessments help instructors to evaluate students after completing one or more units of study. It also contribute to grades for a marking period. It is conducted at the end of more units of study, like examination. So, contributing to grade for a making period. It is conducted at the end of the semester or section to determine what you have achieved in a course or program, potentially leading to a degree. That is your summative, that is the total of the assessment given to learners after completing one or more unit of study. That is your summative, from the word summative, summative. Now, assessment as learning exercises of fostering and supporting students metacognitive development. It encourages students to monitor and reflect on their learning, using gathered information to support and direct new learning. Now, the instructional based assessment mode. The instructional based assessment modes, this involved various methods to evaluate student learning, guiding instructional activities and providing feedback. This mode include the following. We have the in-text self-assessment. In-text or self-assessment, learning targets should help students evaluating their own learning by applying criteria to their work, discussing it with peers, and reflecting on the post completion. That's the in-text. That is, you evaluate in your own learning, you evaluate it with your peers, or you just sat down and go through your work, self-assessment. Now, tutor or computer marked assessment. This, in addition of the self-assessment, students should complete specified tutor or computer assessment. The tutor marked assessment are given to students online, who then submit them to the instructor or facilitator for scoring and grading based on established criteria. In this method, you'll be given the time, you'll be given the time for the submission, you will be given the due date, that after that date you will not be able to submit such assignment again. So, we have some that it is a computer that will mark it immediately once you have followed the instruction on the system. Structure of examination of semester examination. The examination is the process of assessing knowledge and abilities to determine their value. It serves to measure learners' achievement of educational objectives. It encompasses skills and intelligence acquired within an educational system. So in distant learning institution like LODLC, examination fulfill roles such as certification, selection, and ensuring accountability. Now, the semester examination at LODLC assess knowledge and skills through pen on paper. Or another name for that pen on paper is theory, in which you'll be given like 5 questions and you will asked to answer 3 or 4 questions and you will write in details. In some cases, this question may carry like 1A, 1B, 1C, 2A, 2B, 2C, 3A. So, and the instruction will be provided for the learners to answer a specific number from all the question, and you use your pen to write it on the answer booklet. That is pen on paper. You'll be using your pen to write it on the booklet. And we also have electronic test. That is your CBT mode of examination, in which there is application using LODLC called question machines. In that question machine, the question will be set on the application and it will be sent to the computer, in which you'll be using a computer to do the exam, CBT mode of exam. And we also have service certification, selection, and accountability roles. Preparation involves understanding exam guidelines, effective study methods, and avoiding pitfall like ineffective answering, deviating from course materials, factual over advertises, poor time management, and inadequate presentation skills. All these are the mode of examination at LODLC. Now, what are the things that learner should avoid when writing examination? Even before telling you this, normal learners, normal students should know the following. Now, what are the things that you should not do in exam or when you are writing exam? Not answering the question effectively. You have to answer the question effectively. You have to read very well so that you'll be able to provide adequate and correct answer. Not adhering to course materials. You have to adhere to the course content, the course materials. You have to go through it page by page so that you'll be able to understand the subject matter very well. Over emphasizing on names and facts. Inefficient time management. When you are in exam hall, you are provided with time. Maybe you have 2 hours or 1.5 hours. You have to divide the time according to the question that you want to answer. That okay, after this 30 minutes, I should be done with question 1, another 30 minutes for question 2, the last 30 minutes for question 3. So you have to be very time conscious to manage your time very well. Now, poor presentation skills. You should develop yourself in presentation of your examination or your exam. You have to read very well so that you will not present that your skills in not good way or good manner. So poor presentation skills is what you should avoid as well when you're writing examination in LODLC. So with this, we have come to the end of this study section 7. I wish you best of luck. Thank you all for listening. See you next time.